All right, guys, let's take a look at those markets. We got Bitcoin finally pumping today. We finally made it over 63,000. I haven't made a video in about a week or two. I don't even remember. Maybe like a week ago, I made a video. And really, I've kind of been bored because Bitcoin, it would get up to like $63,000, $64,000. And I'm just like in the back of my mind, we're probably just going to dump and get rejected, which has pretty much been happening for the last 6 months, maybe 7 months. Even just like 2 days ago, actually, I think it was yesterday, we got to $63,000 Bitcoin, then we dumped right back down to 62. And I'm just bored. I'm bored with it. I'm not into crypto anymore. I still have all my crypto. I'm still waiting for the bull run. I know it's going to happen at any moment, but there's no point in, making videos and following the day to day when we're just most likely in a range and we're going to get rejected. And that's pretty much been what's been happening. Now today, we're seeing some excitement because we actually broke past $64,000. Right now, we're at almost 66. It looks like 66 is now kind of the resistance of the day. We hit 66 a few times, then we right back down to 65. Now we're pushing back up to 66. So overall, this is extremely positive. I think October is going to be really good for crypto, especially the way things are looking with this whole election cycle. About a month ago, Kamala Harris was kind of rising in the polls because she had the convention. Oh, she's new. Well, over the last month, she's been doing a bunch of interviews, and it's basically just been like horrible. Like she's an embarrassment. Her vice president pick, Waltz, is an embarrassment, and Trump has been killing it. He did a campaign in Butler, Pennsylvania again. He came back, had 100,000 people or something like that. He's had JD Vance going out to all the news shows, and he's been clobbering the liberal media. So now if you look at all the polls, Trump is pretty much up in all the swing states. And as you guys know, Trump is usually underperforming in the polls. So this could actually be a clobbering election where Trump may even win the popular vote. Like, I'm extremely bullish on Trump, and I'm extremely bullish on crypto. As you guys know, I said before, if Kamala Harris gets elected, I don't think we're going to have a good bull run in crypto. That's just my personal opinion. I think we really need Trump to get us to $150,000 Bitcoin. So if you look at what's going on, you're seeing your altcoins pumping as well. XRP back up to 55 cents. There was a little bit of XRP. They say bad news because the government decided to appeal a ruling. Of course, the government had to appeal that ruling. I've already discussed that in another video. If they didn't, every other case that they're involved with would have to be basically taken off the table. So of course they were going to have to appeal it, and people apparently got all upset about that. But now XRP is back up to 55 cents. Everything's looking good for XRP. I'm not a big fan of XRP. I don't love it or anything like that, but I know XRP is going to minimally get back to $4. And I bought most of mine at 25 cents, so I expect to do extremely well in XRP. You're seeing, you're seeing your meme coins up. Dogecoin up 6%. Shiba has actually been on a tear over the last couple of weeks. Even when Bitcoin was kind of down, Shiba was pumping. So Shiba up 6% in the last 24 hours. Litecoin, Litecoin's approaching $70 again. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I think Litecoin's going to be a great performer. Even Solana is doing really well, which Solana usually, at least this cycle, has been doing really well. Solana back up to $156. I kind of missed the boat on Solana, but there are some Solana meme coins that I have, and if Solana does well, I'm going to do well. So I'm overall voting for Solana at this point, even though I think at any moment Solana could go down and the whole thing could just crumble into the ground, or I think a venture capital could sell it and that will kill Solana. But hey, look, as of now, it's doing well, and we're just going to take things day by day. Found this article kind of interesting. Cardano to $5 and Solana to $1,000. And they're talking about some other coin as well. And that's kind of an interesting price prediction. It got a lot of views, so let's kind of go over it. Talking about Cardano. Cardano, with its ADA coin, is a strong contender in the cryptocurrency space. Designed for smart contracts, it's versatile for apps and tokens. Cardano uses a proof-of-stake system, which is more energy efficient compared to other methods. This makes it appealing to those concerned about environmental impact, which I am not one of those people, but still, that's great. Its structure into 2 layers helps manage large numbers of transactions and efficiency. The Cardano network aims to offer secure and low-cost interactions with smart contracts. This set up to provide an efficient and scalable platform, making Cardano a noteworthy player in the ongoing development use of blockchain technology. Also saw another article on Cardano. This came out a couple of days ago. I thought it was interesting. Cardano hosts first legally enforceable contract in Argentina. And I also think Charles Hoskinson is meeting with the president of Argentina, I think this week. So the milestone moment came 10 months after the country legalized cryptocurrency payments in commercial contracts last December. Cardano has hosted the first legally enforceable contract on its network, signed in Argentina and under the jurisdiction of its courts. The contract is a loan agreement between Cardano, Ambassador Malu Andrillo, and Lucas Machi for 10,000 Cardano, worth $3,380, payable in 4 months at a 10% interest rate. That's not a bad interest rate. And the first time an Argentina court can enforce full payments in Cardano from a Cardano contract. So that's interesting. So now over in Argentina, Cardano is essentially just like a currency. I mean, if you take out a loan, you can take it out in Cardano, and if you don't pay that person back, you can actually take that person to court. So essentially, Cardano is recognized in the courts, and it does look like the headway that Charles Hoskinson is making over in Argentina. I could honestly see some really big announcements coming out in Cardano over the coming year, over the coming months, with Cardano being used as a currency over there, maybe banks using it. You're seeing right here, they're using it for a loan, a 10% loan. A lot of good stuff happening for Cardano. And that takes us back to the price prediction, where they're talking about a $5 Cardano and a $1,000 Solana. I think a $5 Cardano, I think we get a $5 Cardano, that would be very average performance for Cardano this bull market. That might be what we get if Kamala Harris gets elected. We get like a $3 to $5 Cardano. Bitcoin only makes it to like $115,000, and the bull market is just not as juicy as it was for that reason. I think the way things are looking right now, especially with the elections, I think we're probably going to get it between a $5 and $10 Cardano, probably most likely somewhere in the middle, maybe a $7 Cardano or an $8 Cardano. Now, with Solana, they're talking about a $1,000 Solana. I think a $1,000 Solana is highly unlikely. And my reasoning for that is you have to go back to about a year and a half ago. Solana was down to like a few dollars. I mean, it went down to like what, $5 or $6 or something like that. It was basically dead. And it's already had its major pump up to $150, $200. So I really feel like Solana has already had most of its pumpage. I think maybe a $500 Solana, a $600 Solana, maybe even if all the planets align and the venture capitalists are really pumping the hell out of it, maybe we get a $700 Solana. But I really think most of the ROI at this point is going to be in Cardano. Now, if you bought Solana at $10 and now you're at $150 and we get, say, a $300 or $400 Solana, you did extremely well. You're going to outperform Cardano and almost every other top 20 coin. But if you're just getting in, say you're just getting into crypto right now and you're debating, do I buy Solana or do I buy Cardano? What's going to give me the highest ROI? I think at this point in history, right now it's Cardano, because Cardano has not had its pump yet. Buying Solana right now at $150 is almost kind of like buying Ethereum at like $3,000. Yeah, Ethereum's going to pump. We might probably get like $5,000, $6,000 Ethereum, but not much more than that. So I would be highly skeptical of these high price predictions for Solana, just because it's already had its pump. It's not even a knock on Solana, even though I'm not a big fan of Solana. It's just already had its pump. We've seen this before. I think we saw this with Chainlink, even last bull run. A lot of these coins that pump heavy in the bear market, they don't do as well in the bull market because there's only so far they can go with their market cap. And I think Solana, like I said, I was telling people not to buy Solana. I think it's a shit coin. I think it goes down every minute. It's venture capital pumped. You can still make money on it. Of course, if I could go back in time in my little time machine and buy a bunch of Solana, I would buy a bunch of Solana. But I think right now you have to be really honest with Solana and say you might be able to get a 3, maybe 4x on Solana. But right now with Cardano, if we get a $5 Cardano, $8 Cardano, I mean, that's 20, 30, 40x on Cardano. So there's a lot more gains to be having on Cardano. Saw this article. I have there's a special place in my heart for Litecoin. it was the first cryptocurrency I ever bought. Even before Bitcoin, it made me a good amount of money last bull market. And like I always say, it's one of those coins you can just buy, put it in the back of your mind, and you don't have to worry about it being a big scam or crashing. Well, it's hard to believe, but Litecoin has been around now for 17 years. So here's the article. Litecoin celebrates, or not 17, 13 years with 77 million transactions in 2024. On Litecoin's 13th birthday, the network celebrates an impressive achievement, having completed over 77 million transactions in 2024 alone. Guys, people are using Litecoin. I know there's a lot of haters out there. There's no venture capitals. Litecoin doesn't go out and pay shills, car salesmen on the internet to promote it. That's not that kind of coin. But when it comes down to transactions, which basically cryptocurrencies were pretty much created to do, Litecoin is one of the top contenders. That's why you see Litecoin. Every payment processor that uses crypto uses Litecoin, and that should be telling you something. And people are using Litecoin. So the milestone emphasizes Litecoin's steady expansion and its dependability since its 2011 release. And here's the tweet from the Litecoin archive. As of today, Litecoin's 13th birthday, Litecoin network has completed a record 77 million transactions so far in 2021. Got the fireworks going off. I just love Litecoin. And as far as price action, I really think Litecoins would probably be between $500 and $700 at the top of this alt season. And of course, the big news today, the only reason I'm even making a video and why everybody right now is excited is because Bitcoin hit $66,000 today, and we haven't really been here in a while. And it's generating some of that excitement back into crypto because crypto has been really boring for the last couple months. Bitcoin price at $66,000, as analyst asks, has Uptober. I thought it was called Pumptober. They're calling it Uptober begun. Bitcoin bulls waste no time, continuing a rebound, which has now delivered Bitcoin price over 3% for October. Data from Cointelegraph Market Pro and TradingView shows Bitcoin price gains nearly 5% for the day. And I've already read most of this article to myself. There's really not many reasons for it. Now, we do have the stock market right now at essentially all-time highs. But last week, the stock market was at all-time highs also, and Bitcoin really wasn't even doing so hot. I almost kind of feel like Bitcoin is kind of doing its own thing right now, and it's kind of, it's going to pump when it wants to pump. I think personally, and I mean, I know it's like there's really no way to tell for sure, but like I said earlier in this video, that Trump is doing so well right now in the polls, where over the last month, it was really kind of lackluster. Like Harris was kind of up in a lot of these polls coming out of the convention, and now Trump is killing it in a lot of these swing state polls. I think people are like, wow, this is going to be really good for the markets. And I think that's why you see the stock market doing well, and I think that's why you're seeing Bitcoin climbing right up. And I think as long as Trump is doing well in the polls in the coming weeks leading up to the election, we could break all-time highs before the election. We're only, a couple $1,000s away. What are we at right now? We're at $65,000 right now, almost 66. I mean, it wouldn't take that much to get us over $70,000 this week. And if we can get over $70,000, I think we're off to the races. Now, of course, we could get rejected. There could be some bad news coming out. We got wars going on all over the place right now under the Democrats. So it's just kind of hard to say. But look, every time we get a pump like this, it does bring life back into the markets. I'm not going to get too overly optimistic until after the election. And as far as alt season, we're not going to get an alt season until Bitcoin hits its all-time high. So no matter what you're seeing right now in the price action, we're going to see pumps in crypto. We're going to see pumps in these altcoins 10, 20%. Some of these smaller cap coins are going to go crazy, but we're not going to get that $5 Cardano, that $4 XRP, your $1,000 Solana, if you think you're getting that too. It's not going to happen until Bitcoin gets back up to all-time highs, levels out a little bit, and then people start flooding money back into alts. For Bitcoin to get back up to all-time highs, what does that mean? That means interest is back in the Bitcoin. People are talking about it again. People are optimistic. And then, of course, they're going to take their money and put it into altcoins after Bitcoin pumps. And like I said, here's a stock. Here's CNBC right here. S&P 500 hits record to start the week. Traders look to key earnings. So You are, and I don't even know why the stock market's even pumping all that much, other than Trump might be. It looks like Trump is probably going to take this election by storm. Man, look at this story right here on CNBC. Harris proposes 1 million forgivable loans to black entrepreneurs as Trump makes inroads. So she's just basically, how racist is that? You know how many poor white people are out there who would kill for a loan? And she's only, this is why I don't get it. I don't get how you can be any other race but black and even consider voting for a Democrat. They're going to give her, basically, you're a poor schmuck working as a plumber or something like that, or working at a store, and your tax dollars are going to go to black entrepreneurs that they never have to pay back the loan. You're paying for them. It's disgusting. It's so racist what's going on with the Democrats right now. They claim to be so anti-racist, but they're racist against everybody who's not black. Like, how can you say something like that? I'm going to give everybody gets a $1 million loan except for whites, Asians, Hispanics. Yo, you don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. Like, give me a fucking break. This whole thing is crazy, and that's why you're seeing right now Harris plummeting in the polls. People do not like her, and you also have to understand with the polls, Trump is always undercounted in the polls. So if right now you're seeing a poll that says Trump and Harris tied in Pennsylvania, that means Trump's probably up 3 to 5 points. So that's why everybody right now is saying Harris is done. It's not looking too hot, and she's basically a nervous wreck because she knows she's not going to make it. I saw another story today that this is how desperate she is, and it really is. It's pathetic. So she put out her cholesterol numbers, and she says, now that I put out my cholesterol numbers, Trump has to put out his cholesterol numbers, and the liberal media ran with that story. So they're talking to J.D. Vance, some liberal media, and they're like, look, don't you think the American people want to see President Trump's cholesterol levels and blood levels? He's like, no. He's like, the American people want to pay less for groceries. They could care less about Trump's cholesterol levels. Like, what are they even talking about over on the Democrat side at this point? They're so out of touch with the rest of the world. So anyway, guys, things are looking good. Like I said, I truly think we're getting this little action right now because over the last couple of days, Trump has been killing it in the polls, been killing it on the interview circuit. J.D. Vance has turned out to be an awesome pick for Trump. And I think people understand if Trump wins this election, we're going to see $150,000 Bitcoin. You're going to get rich. So many people who listen to this channel and other crypto channels, you're going to get rich in altcoins. You have to understand that. You're going to get rich. And if Harris gets elected, it's going to severely, severely affect the outcome of this bull market. But like I said, it doesn't matter because it looks like Trump is up in all the polls and Harris has pretty much dwindled to nothing. And people, every time she opens her mouth, her poll numbers go down. So things are looking good for Trump. All right, guys, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. And I just love this. This came out a couple of days ago. This is essentially the liberal media panicking right now because Kamala Harris, it's like her poll numbers aren't moving and Trump is basically clobbering right now.
Reporting. This has been a campaign that was described by multiple Democrats, allies, aides, to the vice president as a good vibes campaign. But what's also creeping in now is that anxiety. The reason for that is because these polls are not really moving, despite multiple battleground blitzes, despite the opportunities she has had across media outlets. There is still not a lot of movement from voters who are moving more towards her versus former president.
Yeah, so everything's crumbling right now with the Democrats. And I know a lot of people don't like this channel to get too political, but you have to understand if you're in cryptocurrency, the only way you're going to make any money is if we get a Republican, or the only way you're going to make a lot of money is if we get a Republican. I've always said voting for a Democrat, if you're big into cryptocurrency, is essentially like going back to Germany, 1940, and voting for Adolf Hitler if you're a Jew. It's the same thing, and it's just like it boggles my mind. So anyway, guys. That's pretty much it. We'll monitor these markets. We'll see what happens. Could this pump pretty much die off today? It could. Could we get bad news that takes us back down to $60,000? We could, but hey, look, I'll take it. We got a nice pump. We're up $5,000-$6,000 in Bitcoin over the last week. Maybe this will be the time that we blow past all-time highs and go to the moon. But you know, we'll just play it by ear. I'm not going to make any predictions, but it does look like October is gearing up with everything going on in the elections to be the start of this major crypto bull run that we're going to have where alts go 20, 30x, Bitcoin $100,000, $150,000. That momentum is basically just gearing up to start at any moment. A lot of people have been flushed out of this market. A lot of people get bored out of these markets and they basically just cash out. They need the money for something else. They say, oh, well, you know, my Cardano's not doing anything. My Bitcoin's not doing anything. I'd rather just take that $5,000 and put it down for a down payment on a new pickup truck or something like that. Like, it's just stupid decisions that people make that ruin their lives because people are impatient. You have to be patient. The one thing we know for sure on this channel, we're at a breaking point. We're going to get that alt season very soon. And if we don't get alt season or a crypto bull run by the end of the year, then we're not getting one at all. Then this whole cycle has been basically flushed down the toilet. And me, I guess I'll have to just go back to putting money into real estate and penny stocks. But I don't think that's going to happen. Everything's looking good. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.